Welcome on board the Star of the Seas, the newest, biggest cruise ship in the world from Royal Caribbean. Today I'm going to show you around our standard balcony cabin on deck 7. I'm going to show you all the things I think are working great in this cabin, some I think are probably going to disappear soon, and try to basically show you everything I think you're going to need to see before you decide if this is the cabin for you. But first, I gotta do this. Hey travelers, do you like to be connected to the internet? Of course you do. You are right now. This video is being sponsored by Airalo, a service I have actually been using for a couple years now. Airalo is a free app you can download, and they offer eSIM support for over 200 countries around the world, including Germany for that Christmas market river cruise, the entire Mediterranean, USA, Mexico, Bahamas, and I'm gonna say almost basically anywhere in the world you're gonna be traveling. You download the app for free, pick out the country you're gonna be visiting, install the eSIM before you leave, very important, and then as soon as you get off the plane, you turn off your normal carrier and turn on the eSIM from Airalo. As far as my experience goes, it's always been super easy, and I just love knowing when I get there, as soon as I get off the plane or as soon as the ship gets into port, I'm going to be able to open up Google Maps, I'm going to be able to order an Uber, or I'm going to be able to check into my flight on the last day of the cruise. Go to try.airalo.com/very-unofficial-travel-guide, no S, and enter code unofficial3 for $3 off your first eSIM from Airalo. And now, on to the video. This is cabin 7688, a standard balcony cabin, and this is the curb appeal. This is the view that you get when you first enter the room. Of course, this is not the first time I've entered the room. After making these videos for 15 years, I've realized it's always better when I've lived in the cabin or the hotel room for a while, so I can tell you more about it and what it's like to be there. Compared to the Utopia of the Seas, which was Royal Caribbean's newest ship that we boarded last summer, I still feel like this is a very sparse design concept, but altogether, in my opinion, it seems a little more polished and a little more higher class, I'm gonna say. That doesn't mean that I think it feels high class, but compared to the Utopia, I guess the Utopia felt cheap and sparse. This is different. Just for comparison, on the left side here is the Utopia of the Seas, the right side is the Star. You see, on the Utopia, it looked to me like they had basically bought department store furniture and put it into a cruise ship cabin. The Star of the Seas, this desk area is a perfect example. It seems to me more like something that was actually designed for the space. What do you think of this area? Do you agree with me? I'm not saying the Star is fancy, but definitely seemed a little higher class than the Utopia. I'm just realizing this now that I'm filming this, that these two lamps are different. This one is like movable, and the other one is flat on the wall. I wonder if it's so if somebody's sleeping on the sofa over there, or if more people are sleeping on the sofa, they can use that as a night light or like a reading light maybe. I mean, when you've got it on, it's going to light up all of this, but at least somebody put some thought into that. On this side of the bed, there is one USB, like standard, well, I don't know if this is considered standard anymore, but this style USB. On the other side, there is the same thing, as well as a plug. So if you have a medical device like a CPAP, you're good, at least on this side. I want to draw your attention now to this like frame here around the television. This is an element I haven't seen on any other Royal Caribbean ship that I've been on, at least not in the cabins I've been in. It's just like a little inset area, and there's a lighting accent in there. I kind of like it. Over on this side, there are some quite small cubbies, but big enough for hats and card games and cruise ducks. Not my cruise ducks. And down here, there are two different USB charging stations. So, you know, if you want to like put two more devices on that little ledge for the night, you're good. Down here, there is, well, I would call this a mini fridge, but on the device itself, it says, keep it cool, but not too cold. This appliance is a cooler, not a refrigerator. But when I open it and just feel inside, it's cold. So there is some sort of electronic process happening that's making it cold in there. And I don't understand then what the difference is between a cooler that is being mechanically cooled or a refrigerator. Up here on the desk area, there are also power plug-in opportunities, a European plug, and then big USB, little USB, and then sort of a multifunctional one here, I think. By the way, I got this pen from Barbie and Santa Claus. Thank you guys. This is the only cruise deck you will see me holding on to. In addition to the drawers down here, there is also hanging space on the other side, and something that I'm sure a lot of people have already talked about and will be talking about as long as they exist on this ship. These cages. These are just standard, like, pretty deep cubby spaces, and Royal Caribbean has filled them with these cages, and I can't imagine anybody who would think that this is a good idea. My friend Jessie, who I'm cruising with, has taken over this side, and she's not a fan of these. So you kind of have to like take the whole thing out and put it on your bed, get what you need, and then put it back. Maybe that's the concept, because it's pretty, you know, they're down here close to the floor. But why not just make these drawers? Or why not just leave it open space where you can put your things in and pull them out without having the clinkety clankety wang jankiness of these cages? I was talking with somebody else about these cages, and they were saying pretty soon there's going to be like 20,000 of those for sale on eBay, because Royal Caribbean is going to be selling them all off. We've had the beds split up here, and not much to say about them. Brand new beds, very comfortable. Honestly, there may only have been like 2 or 4 people who have slept in these beds before us, because we're on a preview sailing, so they feel like brand new beds, and there is space underneath to put your suitcase or other things. The bathroom door is Morgan approved. It's a real solid door that's not see-through and closes all the way. Let's take a look inside. And the bathroom design has been somewhat overhauled and adapted. The biggest change being that there's very little counter space here, and the counter space that you would usually have is now taken up by a bigger shower space. And it's not necessarily wider in this direction, but it's definitely longer. And then there's a seat here for, if you want to sit down to wash yourself, or if you're shaving some part of your lower body or whatever, you can relax and have a seat while you're doing it. To make up for the lost counter space, they've put some cubbies there next to and behind the crapper. And then directly under the sink, there's also some more space for things. Oh, I wish you could be here right now. It is so nice outside, although it's actually too hot. But look at that sky, look at the sea. This is just a beautiful day, and this is our balcony. The balcony furniture is kind of upgraded because these chairs are like adjustable. You can lean them back a little bit, and our table is a somewhat higher table, and it has this like colorful accent on the bottom. Both chairs also have a footrest, so that's very nice too. Before we say goodbye, there's a couple other things I wanted to show you. This is the climate control here, and it is in Celsius. I wonder, can you change it into Fahrenheit? Yes, you can here. Now you know how to do that. And there are different lighting schemes here. So morning, evening, movie, and sleep. And when you press one of these functions, it controls all the lights in the whole cabin at the same time. So if I press sleep, it turns off all the lights. If I press morning, then it dims them somewhat. And whatever you have set here is also the programming for this switch. This is the switch for the bathroom light, and this is the switch for every light in the entire cabin. Can anybody think of a problem with that, maybe? So let's say you're getting up at night, you're stumbling through the dark over here to use the bathroom, you want to turn on the light, and instead of pressing this switch, you press this switch. That's gonna make every light in the entire cabin go on. The baby's gonna wake up, your mother-in-law's gonna wake up, I'm gonna wake up over in Hamburg, Germany. Just be careful which switch you press. And Royal Caribbean, maybe these two switches should have been a little bit further away from each other. So, what do you think? Is this the cabin for you? The Star of the Seas also does have some of these, I guess they're called infinite balcony cabins. At least that's what they're called on celebrity cruises. This is where instead of the balcony being an external space that is closed off from the rest of the cabin, It's basically part of the cabin. So when you open the upper window to have that outdoor balcony feeling, the entire cabin becomes the balcony. So you also have no air conditioning anymore. And on this cruise, I probably wouldn't have opened that window once. It's September and it's really, really hot. So personally, I would prefer this style of traditional balcony over an infinite balcony, but I guess kind of depends on the price. And the only deciding factor for me then would be price and location on the ship. It's been so great being on this sort of preview sailing of the Star of the Seas. I've seen so many other content creators on this cruise. Everybody's got a camera out in front of their face, walking around, talking to imaginary people out there like you. And of all the people's videos you could be watching about this brand new ship, I really am very happy that you're watching mine today. And if you like my style and my little jokes, you might want to check out one of my 2 books, Places Please and Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship, are available on Amazon now. Let me know if you have any questions about the ship or this cabin in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you back here soon. I'm Morgan from the very Unofficial Travel Guides. Bye-bye.